On a dark night, when the moon shone with its silver light and the stars sparkled in the clear sky, there was a young boy named Yusuf ibn Ayyub, who would later be known as Saladin. Yusuf lived in the town of Tikrit and loved knowledge and bravery. He spent long hours reading books on history and wars and training in horsemanship and archery. He always dreamed of becoming a great warrior who would defend the oppressed and spread justice. One day, news reached Tikrit of the Crusaders taking control of the city of Jerusalem, turning it into a Crusader state. Yusuf felt sadness and anger when he learned about the suffering of Muslims, Christians, and Jews in the holy city. Thus began his journey towards achieving his dream. Yusuf began his journey to Egypt, where he became a prominent military leader in the army of Nur ad-Din Zangi. He was brave and wise in his decisions, achieving many victories against the Crusaders. After Nur ad-Din's death, Yusuf became the actual ruler of Egypt and the Levant and became known as Saladin. In one of the decisive battles, the Battle of Hattin, Saladin led his army against the Crusader armies. The battle was tough and intense, but with his iron will and wise leadership, he achieved a great victory. The Battle of Hattin marked the beginning of the end of Crusader control over Jerusalem. Afterward, Saladin marched his army towards Jerusalem and besieged the city. But instead of seeking revenge, Saladin showed mercy and humanity when he entered the city. He granted safety to its inhabitants, allowing them to leave the city safely, and restored the rights of Muslims, Christians, and Jews in the holy city. Thanks to Saladin, Jerusalem once again became a city of peace and tolerance. People talked about his bravery and mercy for many centuries. Thus, Saladin achieved his dream of becoming a great warrior who defended the oppressed and spread justice. Saladin continued his rule, working to strengthen unity among the Islamic states. He built a strong army and navy and fortified cities to defend against any threat. He knew that true peace comes from strength and readiness, not just from winning battles. But Saladin was not only a military leader, he was also a wise statesman. He focused on developing infrastructure, building schools and hospitals, and encouraging scholars and thinkers to come to his court. Cairo and Damascus became centers of learning and culture in the Islamic world. One day, while Saladin was sitting in his palace surrounded by scholars and leaders, a messenger from the West arrived. This messenger carried a letter from Richard the Lionheart, King of England, proposing a truce to end the Crusades. Saladin decided to meet Richard, and despite their deep differences, they managed to reach a peace agreement. After Saladin's death in 1193, the Islamic world mourned his loss. But his great legacy continued, and he was celebrated as one of the greatest leaders in history. Saladin left an example for the world on how to combine strength with mercy and how courage and justice can prevail in times of war and peace.